first match we have, it was already played last night, around 11 hours ago, is Sitaux versus Stark. And if I remember correctly, Stark was already... Oh no, Stark qualified via the Silver League. So he's one of the winners of the tournament played last month. And Sitaux came down from Platinum League last season. Therefore both coming from other ends of the spectrum of strength in T90's Titans League. Not necessarily in every aspect. But I would still say Sitaux is the clear favorite here. And with his map pick Graveyards, he chooses maybe the map that is the closest to Arabia, and therefore the standard meta, what everyone is playing. And whenever you pick Arabia as your home map, then it's basically saying, okay, I am the better player if we are doing what we probably do the most. That's playing Arabia. Unless you're a clown, then you're obviously playing Arena. And yeah, Stark with Migration and Eldorado, picking two maps with a bit of water. So I assume he says I am the better water player. And yeah, Eldorado was left over after everything else was banned. That's the way the first map in every match is decided. And then the civs. We have Sitaux with Chinese, Malay, Portuguese, Gujaras, Malians. Against Mayans, Dravidians, Lithuanians, Poles and Bulgarians for Stark. And I assume we will see on Graveyards Lithuanians for Stark. It's just so easy to get 4 relics there. And therefore the complete bonus for the cavalry. From team games I know that Bulgarians are very good on migration. So that could be his plan. I'm not too knowledgeable about Eldorado. We could see Dravidians there by Stark. Ian should work on all maps. And migration not that good, but still possible. Sitaux, I assume Chinese on Graveyards. Malay for migration. I'm not sure where he would play Gujaras. Portuguese could be played on migration as well. Often players do castle the middle to get a first foot there safely. Malians could be played on any map. And yeah, we will start with Eldorado. And I think we will see Dravidians, maybe versus Malay. But I would say we take a look at that live. And oh, I am completely wrong with my prediction. Capture H is loading the game. And I would say we look into it. And yeah, I predicted Dravidians versus Malay. And we will see Chinese versus Lithuanians. Stark playing in purple. I think I want to change that against the blue player. Let's do it in red for Stark. And yeah, he picked his Lithuanians. Probably wants to use his extra food he has at the beginning to start chopping wood and then build a dock very fast and only then go for the food under the TC. Form of great fish, marlin in this case. And Sitaux. Oh, I understand the Chinese pick. Now you start with 6 wills, but normally it's hard to get to enough food fast enough to get will production running because you start without any food. So a map where you have a fast food resource like fish directly under the TC is always good for Chinese because you can use your extra vills better and keep the distance larger. So Stark with 7 vills against 8, now 9. So Sitaux with roughly 1.5 vills lead. That makes it like 35 resources per minute extra for Sitaux. In other words, roughly 1 scout every 2 minutes that Sitaux has more than Stark. If everything goes to plan and both are playing otherwise equal. I'm a bit confused. Okay, so Stark built a lumber camp and is now waiting for only 1 wood. Then he can now build a dock here and maybe can catch up in vill numbers if he starts the production of fishing ships a bit earlier. Oh, and Stark with the scout directly under the TC of Sitaux. Sitaux moves away his, what is it, turkeys? And well, it doesn't kill the scout, but it's already so weak that it can't even fight the vill, especially not because Chinese always click loom first. Without any food in the bank, you can't click a vill, so you click loom because you will need it anyways. And that's also a nice little bonus for this map. And when Sitaux now gets the dock up, he still has a 2 vill lead. Oh, that will shrink to a 1 vill lead. Now that Stark gets another fishing ship out. So I think Sitau's still a little bit ahead in worker numbers. And I'm not sure. Oh, Borloo close to failing. I'm not sure what the strategy will be on this map after the Dark Age. You obviously want to defend your fishing ships, as they can give you a constant stream of food, which is always nice. So you maybe want to defend that. But you also want to fight for the middle, where most of the golden stone is. And as you can see here, both players have... What? Ah, that's... Why did I get Gaia? Ah, I clicked on the fish, not on the TC when I changed vision. And the fish are part of Gaia. So both players see the middle all the time. You can't really sneak in there. Build a sneaky little castle. And control it. Even though most of the time castles are too big to be sneaky. Okay, we have Loom for Stark. So right now he could fight back against a Dark Age Scout. And Dark is on the way to the Feudal Age with quite a lot of vills on wood. So it probably won't be a opening with scouts. Now with fishing ships that could still work. But where's this still going? I assume we will see some vills on gold anytime, and Stark will then go. He goes for barracks. He might go for land aggression. I thought he would go for at least 2 galleys and try to kill some fishing ships. Sitaux also on the way to Feudal Age and has a 4-worker lead. That is obviously because Stark clicked up earlier, so when Stark is up he will catch up around 1 vill, then 1 extra vill from the start, and Stark with a little bit of idle time had to research Loom later. When we first compared the vill numbers. Oh, that's a sneaky vill! Building a dock here? I like that. And he's going for gold. So this dock won't build any galleys probably. And we will see fire galleys maybe here. Would have been nice if it was a little bit earlier, because now we get the first fire galleys out for Sitaux already. Before the first one is produced here. Oh, Sitaux getting control over some of the turkeys here. Oh, that one was in danger. If the TC hits it, it's dead immediately. No food left there. We see archers as well from Sitaux. Oh, and he sends his fire galley to this side. What do we see here? Fire galley, is there another one in the queue? No. So this one is purely defensively. And archers and spearmen are going forward. Archer range for Stark as well. If he goes for skirmishes, this one spearman could fight the scout, and then everything else is countered by skirmishers. And he's going for it. Blacksmith only now, so this archer is without fletching. Not that one archer would be particularly dangerous. And too much damage on the fire galley for Stark here. But he has a will around, so he can repair. Then Sitaux has to run, but there's a will here. And quite a lot of reinforcements in case this one will dies. And we see Stark on stone and housed as well. Why is no one building this house? Oh, Scout tries to go for the skirms. Spearman getting into the minimum range of the skirms as well. With the best engagement for Stark, but he can scare Sitaux away. So that is fine. Now we have fire galleys here. 2 against 2, both full health. Good first engagement for Sitaux because Stark doesn't realize it. And then one galley out of position. Stark with a little bit less HP here, so he would lose the fight, especially because this fire galley isn't really fighting. Fishing ship was blocking it. Really well played by Sitaux. Now pulls away the weakened fire galley to repair it, and Stark will not get control over the water, but also is not annoyed on water in his area. Sitaux is first up to the castle age. It's a 7-worker lead right now. He also added 2 more fishing ships after getting to the fuel age. And Stark with over 1 will extra... No, a little bit under 1 will extra idle TC time. And Sitaux with another dock to make his own fishing ships a bit more effective. Now they would have to go too far to this one. And that gives him the edge on the castle age timing. So going for archers instead of skirms is often a bit easier when you want to go up to the castle age fast. And now this wood line is not safe from the archers. Probably no kills will be done here, but a lot of annoyance. Skirms can't really engage against the scout here, and they don't even try to do it. Stark clicked up to the castle age as well. And we see scale barding armor for Sitaux. Some fire galley fights here, but really well microed. Let's go back a bit so we can see it a bit better. Sitaux blocked the fleeing fire galley that was running for its life. The other one, this one, then killed it. Oh no, this one killed it. Has 2 kills against 0, but it blocked it most of the time. So this fire galley did the heavy lifting here. And now the skirms are fighting against the archers. But as soon as Sitaux is in the castle age, he can add knights. 1 stable already. This TC is in vision of Stark. This is what Stark sees, and he sees the TC. But there's absolutely nothing he can do about it right now. Monastery as well, 2 relics, very easy to get if you have control over the middle. And good extra source of gold income. And also takes away the relics from the Lithuanian player. Now crossbowmen even got the botkin arrow upgrade. And against field age crossbows are really great. Skirmishers can't really engage without at least Bodkin arrow. And it would be even better if they had the elite skirmisher upgrade. Now Bodkin arrow coming in, bow saw for Stark, and a castle. It secures a bit of the area here, but gold is close to running out. It's more than half taken, it's only 2 tile gold. Stone, only 138 left. Not the craziest position that is secured here. And Sitaux won't be able to deny the castle, sees that, runs away, tries to do as much damage as he can. And yeah, 2 monks already. That was quite fast. 1 relic in. And a lot of builds now on gold in the middle for Sitaux. Stark would have loved to build the castle here probably, but would have lost all his wills in the process, I assume. So it would have been just a way to throw away the game. Now it gets a bit hard for Stark to get wood. Goes for this wood line that is secured by the castle and a monastery. But I think he won't get more than 1 relic. Sitaux could run in here, but nothing left for him to kill here. Would have to go through the TC, which is possible because there are only 3 wills under the TC, even with 1 armor upgrade, not 2. Knight should survive that pretty comfortably. A little bit of a tongue twister for me. How's it looking here? Okay, Sitaux here under control. Might build a dock here now. This will to have more efficient fishing ships. And Sitaux is looking for opportunities to get damage done. Oh, even a demolition raft. I don't think he will kill the fire galleys with it. I think he will send it forward and send it into a group of fishing ships, just like he sent this crossbow into the range of the castle. And Stark is building his own TC here, but as I said, Sitaux knows about it, and I think you remembered that as well. Sides against it. How many relics do we have in here? 2. This monk is searching for this relic probably and doesn't know about it yet. Yeah, he knows about it. Sitaux might not have saw it yet. Okay, this will build a dock here. Good job by Sitaux to always have good fishing economy. And that just shows that you don't have to leave the European Union. Get good fishing eco. Monk gets the relic next to Stark's base. And with 3 monks here, Sitaux can't really engage against it. Oh, loses 1 knight, can't reconvert it. Damage is healed, but that is just 1 knight taken away, and the skirms now making it hard for Sitaux to engage. As soon as he sends in the cavalry, the monks are there to convert it. So Stark will get up the TC, and we see Siege Workshop. Yes, there it is. Nice. Sitaux will pressure that with a Siege Workshop. I'm pretty sure that Stark didn't get redemption yet, so right now the monks aren't not able to convert the mangonel, and everything Stark has at the moment would be killed by a mangonel if it's macro correctly, but a castle can do the job just as well. And it's a great spot right in the middle of the golden stone piles, and ranging the TC of Stark, and Stark can't really stop that. Oh, skirmish is converted by Sitaux. Normally not the unit you want to convert the most, just because it's not worth that much. Castle goes up and Stark taps out. He has no control over the middle, and therefore no gold, no stone, doesn't even have relics. Really clean game by Sitaux, and a deserved first win in this play all three. I've talked a bit too much in the last minute. Okay, let's check the civs. No, they didn't win. They lose, and Chinese win. It's a bit hard to click the right symbol because I cut it out, but OBS is treating my clicks as if it wasn't cut out, the whole thing. Okay, so first map won by Sitaux. Now we will play Migration. I think we will play Migration now. I'm not sure what the rules are saying, but it's a play all three anyway, so it doesn't matter that much what map we play now. And with Chinese and Lithuanians out of the equation, I would think that we see Dravidians or Burgundians for Stark. I think Mayans are for graveyards. And Sitaux, Portuguese or Malay. I think Portuguese are a bit better. Even though Malay are great as well. Let's see what they did. And I will load the game. Yeah, indeed, it is Migration in game 2. And we will see Malay versus Dravidians. A bit more of a water focus than land focus, I would say. Portuguese and Burgundians would be the civs I would have picked here if we were going for land, just because they are so much better at placing a castle in the middle, going for some unique units to get control over the middle. And yeah, Malay and Dravidians are a bit better at fighting on the water. Malay, just because they can get really fast uptimes and therefore have the first 2 fire galleys out before the opponent has his first. And it's always an uphill fight for Stark, who has Dravidians here. They get 200 wood per age up, which is especially valuable. You want to produce ships in the early feudal age. In castle age, it's nice to get a university or the extra TC a bit easier. And in Imp, it's basically just, yeah, and nice to have to build whatever you need at the time, but the biggest impact that bonus has is in feudal age. And there's most of the time not that much happening here, so I would double the speed here, and we go a bit faster through the feudal age. So far no dock for either player. I think here would be a good dock position. Or here? Maybe a bit more forward. Yeah, both players starting on this map, on this small island, but have to migrate over to the middle to have proper resources. There are 2 gold tiles with 4 each and 6 stone for each player. Then berries, deer, and basically Arabia starting area with less gold and stone. And then you have to go over, and apparently they paused here for a moment, but luckily with recorded games we don't have to deal with that. Both players are producing their first fishing ships right now. Sitaux tiny little bit faster than Stark here. That explains why he was up 1 worker. Both only 1 second idle TC time. And only 1%, well, it's 11% dock idle time. That is not the thing that will decide this game. I think it will be tough for Dravidians to deal with the first fire galleys of Malay. But if you survive that, or galleys probably, with the long distance, if you're going for fire galleys from here, going over, when you arrive with your first fire galley, your opponent has 3 already and can fight that back. Then the next one arrives, dies to 2.5 fire galleys. Next one arrives, dies to 2 fire galleys. You have lost 2, killed 1. Doesn't really make much sense, so you want the A, faster moving unit, and B, the unit that can micro better against small groups. And yeah, it's easier with galleys to build a group and then with fire galleys. And when you have built a group with both, then the galleys normally win. Just because it's easier to micro. And Dravidians having 3 dogs up already. Okay, melee player as well. And Sitaux can't afford more than 2 galleys right now, while Stark is on 3 produced any moment. And that is the strength of the Dravidian wood bonus. It's just a bit easier to have 3 dogs running at the start at this point. Or 4 if you go up later, or whatever happens. But Sitaux with 4 workers more has 6 fishing ships against 2 and 2 more wills because he doesn't have to spend so much TC time on researching feudal age. Now we have 2 against 3 galleys, both without fletching. Blacksmith is coming up for Stark and no blacksmith coming up for Sitaux. So Stark will probably win the next galley fights. Now both producing 3 galleys each. First engagement not great for Stark, he's not really reacting. Those are stopping here. Okay, now it's looking better for him, but not as great as it could have been. With fletching, that will change heavily very soon. Yeah, distance very long, so it might take a bit, but then we get a very big fight over the water. Both on 6 galleys right now, but once again, Sitaux can't afford a 3rd galley. And with the earlier blacksmith, okay, there's the blacksmith for Sitaux now. Fletching will come in before we see a proper fight, so Stark won't profit off of his earlier fletching timing. Maybe one shot will come in before fletching is in. And now we see the micro, probably best if you look down to the HP bars here. And Sitaux with more HP on his, because some of Stark's galleys are not there yet. Sitaux still decides to group up, send his fire galley in as well. One fire galley can really change the outcome of the match here. Because you have to run away more if there's a fire galley on the side of your opponent. And Stark not really with the numbers here. Sitaux using his defender's advantage that you can get your next units in faster to the fight. And there is the first kill for Sitaux, second kill for Sitaux. Some very low HP here, but Stark can't really get the kill in. And maybe this build here could repair the weakened galleys to get as much value out of them as possible. Market for Stark. Oh, he could click up very soon, but Sitaux is using the market already, will buy his way up to the castle edge. And not only will he click up earlier, he also gets the better prices at the market. And he will also reach castle edge way faster with the melee bonus. And then not only having more galleys now, okay, it's fairly similar, but having similar numbers of galleys, but even only Bodkin in can make it so much easier. And some days ago I casted on another channel, the other one, a match where a player decided to not click the war galley upgrade in the castle age to have the units that are easier to micro. And Sitaux really snowballs his numbers advantage here. 12 against 8, 11 against 8. Oh, not the best fight now, but gets some kills in 10 against 6. And now, after getting a lot of damage in, he also reaches castle age more than a minute earlier than his opponent. immediately gets War Galley. I would have preferred Bodkin Arrow, and we have a transport ship that sent over Wills to build ATC in the middle. And okay, there's a transport ship as well that will get over before the War Galleys arrive. If Stark is reacting now, he would lose that transport ship. I would say it's instant GG. Ooh, and Gillnet's pretty early for Sitaux. Wants to get the best possible fishing eco. And second TC on stone here. I assume he wants to get a castle in the middle. Where is Stark building his TC? Oh, first he has to run away from the War Galleys. Oh, that wasn't the worst fight ever for Stark. And I think he can clear up the War Galleys here with only galleys. He has Bodkin. Now War Galley as well. Yeah, Stark can save the day for himself here. Monastery, Siege Workshop and Town Center immediately. Now, next to Golden Wood. Does Stark see Sitaux here? Apparently he does. Ah, yeah, with his scout, right? Monk and Mangonel. Vidian should have a pretty solid Monk tech tree and good siege. So that can be quite effective if Sitaux isn't careful, but Malay... Oh, I have to check the tech tree for Malay real fast to see how good their monks are. They are one of the better civs on Arena. I assume it's not horrible, but I've never seen a monk rush with them, but they have everything except for fervor. So they're a bit slower, and Theocracy, which only will come in Imperial Age, but then it's really useful, making not the whole group of monks lose faith after conversion. So far, only one Mangonel, not that dangerous for Sitaux, but the second one is around, and I assume there will be Spearmen for Stark as well. Dravidians really solid with Monk, Pike, Siege, a lot of things going for them. Basically, the monastery is gifted to you at the beginning of Castle Age by the wood bonus. Nice dock here for Malay, and they could upgrade it to Harbors. Probably won't happen too soon. 178 stone for Sitaux. And has to repair his town center instead of collecting more. Now a third Mangonel. And the defensive Mangonel gets not the best shot in. Monk dies to the light cav. Mangonel dies to Sitaux's Mangonel. Spearman attacking a bit late here, but gets the Mangonel to safety. Oh, and Scout is dead. Will the Spearman be converted? No, it will be deleted. Mangonel gets killed by Stark. You see, still under heavy pressure. And while repairing a normal building from 1 HP to full HP costs you half the wood you would spend to build a new one. But he sees it's 4 times that, so 550 wood to heal it completely. Even if you don't kill it with your 3 Mangonels, you're draining so much wood out of the stockpile of your opponent. And Sitaux has to repair it with so many wills, has many wills just chopping wood for that, but now he gets 2 kills against the Mangonels. And Stark decides to tap out. He Oh, lost control over the water while we completely focused on the middle. And yeah, those are Sitaux as well. And he also knows that Sitaux's on 3 TCs while he is on only 2. Therefore, Sitaux 83 workers against 54. 12, well, there's 5 fishing ships, and those 5 will die very soon. Can't really keep up the pressure after losing 2 of his 3 mangonels, and decides that Sitaux is the better player in this match, in this game, and the match as well, because this won't be better than a 2-1 for Sitaux, for Stark. For Sitaux it could be better, 3-0. And I want to check on Liquipedia how much money each player is getting. $15 per map win. So Sitaux with the first $30 in his pocket. And the last $15 will be decided on graveyards. After melee won against Revidians. And let's get rid of this weird thing there. Alright. Yeah, graveyards, last map we see, and it's Portuguese. Not sure. Honestly, I think all civs here are solid on graveyards, and could come down to not wanting to play one civ against specific other civs. So if you, for example, don't want to play with Mayans against good Jaras, because you don't feel like you can kill Shrivamchas well enough, then you just don't pick Mayans and go for Poles or Buganians. And the decision was Malians versus Mayans. So Sitaux going for Malians. I mean, against Buganians you have solid camels. Against Poles you have camels, and Obu could be a bit tricky for Malians. But still have hand cannoneer. But I think we should focus on Mayans versus Malians. And let's go into the game. And yeah, Sitaux with Malians on the left side, Stark over this hill on the right side with Mayans. And I think Plumes get 2 extra bonus damage against infantry, so they should be solid against Champ Skulls. Especially because they can hit and run very well. Malians could struggle against Plumes a bit. Ah, they have solid siege. And it's not that easy for Stark to get onto Plumes. So the map is similar to Arabia, with less gold and stone in the base. We have 7 tiles of gold and 4 tiles of stone in the base of Stark, and then there's more on the outside every now and then, a bit more than we have normally on Arabia. And there are a lot of relics. How many is it on this generation? 11? Yes, 11 relics all over the map. That's why I thought that Lithuanians would be solid here, because if you don't get 4 relics, you have lost the game somewhere else, and therefore you basically always get your strong cavalry. And Aztecs also often played here, but Mayans also profit from the higher income of endless gold. Mesocivs often struggle when gold runs out. So having a map where you pretty consistently get 4, 5, 6 relics Should be nice for Civ that struggles without gold. Malians, not with the... I think the cavalry should be solid against Mayans. Unless Dark adds pikes or monks. Which absolutely is possible, especially monks will be seen here a lot. So maybe cavalry not the smartest choice, but if you have 20 knights running in against 2 monks and some pikemen, it's still fine. Let's see. Distance is similar to Arabia, I think. So we will most likely see some aggression, maybe even a French rush with 2 militias by Sitaux here. Especially against Mayans, maybe even a man-at-arms play could be possible. But not with Pop 18, right? This looks a lot like 2 militia aggression very early. Stark a bit later with his barracks. Also, he has Loom already, because he's Mayans. Late here for Sitaux. Stark can't click up yet. Will, if he garrisons, could click up after this will comes out, I assume. Yes, he does exactly that. And 1 will after Sitaux. Stark is also up. Yeah. And has 1 more because of Mayan start. Stark also going for militia here. He's a bit later, so Sitaux has 1 militia already. And now 2, and is moving forward. But when he arrives, Stark will have his 2nd militia as well. None on Gold tells us that he won't go for man-at-arm or a 3rd militia yet. Probably won't do it at any time. And a bit problematic is that the Scout Cavalry in Feudal Age kills the Eagle. And do Militia already have bonus damage against Eagles? No! Every other stage of the Militia line will have that, and Stark also gets attacked by the Wolf. Something Sitaux didn't have to face. So Sitaux with a clearly better start here. Is there anything that Sitaux could attack? Yeah, this area can be quick walled here and here the gold, but the wood will be a bit tricky. Probably causes a bit of idle time, and Sitaux will have a archery range up very soon. Therefore, I don't think we will get that much damage done by Stark, who's still a bit further away from Stark's base. Oh, was that a sheep kill? Sick. That could be worth the HP. Now Sitaux has, Stark has to add farms a bit earlier, and first wills are getting attacked. Aren't fighting back so far. Tries to wall that will in, will lose it. Wasn't fast enough. 1 will kill. That's enough for a French drush to pay itself off. Ooh, not that great on the other side for Stark. Bit unlucky with the wolf, and therefore is it a bit harder to fight here. But his scout is a bit healthy as well. Now the archer is around, and yeah, it will probably stay at 1 will kill for Sitaux, none for Stark for quite some time. This militia also now is doomed with 1 archer out. Archer just can retreat to the TC, and Stark isn't garrisoning. Oh, now, oh, great job by Stark here to get the spearman between the archer and the scout. Yeah, Eagle is a bit better against archers in the scout, right? 2 pierce. And 2 as well, and 45 versus 50 HP. That's a bit better. And no bonus damage against archers. Okay. Would have been surprising to me anyways, but you never know. Just one hit here against the Will, losing some HP to the archers, and Stark is housed right now, but at pop 35, something Sitaux didn't reach yet. But that's also because Stark still sticks with his 9 HP on the 2 militia. I would consider them dead, but they're still using space inside the houses. And I think it wouldn't have been bad to just delete them when you're housed. Even though as scouting units, they aren't the worst thing in the world. How much line of sight do they have? Can I see that somewhere here? Oh, looks like we have to do it like this. That's solid. Looks like one tile less than the archers, or is it just because they are in a group and spread out a bit more? Okay, now they are dying to one skirmisher. Oh, Stark has his archers forward. They can't really get into the base yet. And on the other side, Stark not with the best engagement here against the hill, but eagles are solid here. And Stark is in the woodline of Sitaux. Killed one Will already, kills another Will. Only now Sitaux really reacts to it. And sends the skirms around. But then Sitaux loses his archers here. Spearman got in through the TC. Those archers might get one build. No, absolutely not. Oh, nice quick wall. But fighting this Spearman would have been possible for the Wills as well. Will count 31 versus 34. It's looking good for Stark here. Military numbers very similar, but I prefer 1 eagle, 4 archers over 3 skirms, 2 archers. Especially because we are producing more eagles. Defense upgrade for the eagle could be nice. Especially if we see the skirms coming forward now. But won't. No, if we're planning to go for monks anyways, the knights, which isn't scaring the eagle player that much, right? I'm thinking about going for eagles in Castle Age anyways, as Mayans. And, oh, Stark is going forward, but will be annoyed by the skirms very soon. Oh no, not that much. Will's fighting them. As long as they're inside the minimum range, it's pretty easy for them. Eagles now jump on the skirm so that the archers can engage. Nice and safe. Both adding a second archer range pretty much at the same time, and both are fairly close to Castle Age. Sitaux can click it now. Stark will produce maybe this one will more now and then catch up. And the skirms are now, skirms and archers of Sitaux are now inside the corner here. I think this is open, but can be walled fairly easily. And eagles trying to engage. Should focus on the skirms. I think can just go for it. Archers don't deal that much damage against eagles. Should try your best to kill the skirms. And Stark is getting on 2 good archer numbers again. Well, Sitaux already with 5, 6 in here, 2 more here. lost all his archers here, but killed all the archers of Stark in this area as well. And Stark is going forward with his archers. Oh, but a bigger group of archers is moving forward for Sitaux as well. And they will find a berry bush with 5 wills, while the archers of Stark won't find that much. And Sitaux now adding a TC immediately here. Botkin clicked, crossbowman clicked. And I think those then crossbows will find a lot of damage. Where are these wills going? To the gold. Building a TC here. If Sitaux knew about it, he could deny or at least delay it. But obviously, no idea that this is happening right now. Wants to go through this wall. Crossbows should get there in there quite fast. Maybe will be re-walled fast enough by Stark. Otherwise, he could have some problems. Eagle's not the greatest unit against crossbow without any upgrades. This woodline just idled. I don't think there are any kills, no. And Stark not really with the army to defend against those crossbows. Will be harder when Sitaux gets the ballistics upgrade in. Use the cheaper Malian buildings to get a university up on top of the second TC. And that's a 33 for the Mayan player. And all the crossbows died here. They were shooting on the walls. Stark didn't really care about them then. But Sitaux took care of them. Not how the Brazilian player likes it. Now Sitaux is in, but won't really find damage. Could kill the wills here, annoy the farmers, but Stark is losing a will. Ballistics already giving something back to Sitaux. And another will kill. How many archers do we have? 8 against 9 for Stark. Let's see how good ballistic is working for Sitaux. Really well. Makes it so much easier to micro here. And can one-shot those eagles. It's now 7v7. Oh, if Stark isn't moving, that's not the fight he needs to take. Sitaux with 1 defense upgrade, which Stark is lacking. Also helping out Sitaux here. And Sitaux with a siege workshop here. He can send forward mangonels very soon. And more crossbows are coming. It's 5 crossbows versus 18. And first mangonel arriving. That one can let the crossbow numbers drop really fast from 7 to 0. Oh, and Sitaux saw a will moving out here. He could think to himself, where's that will going? Let's check if there's something over here. And he's doing exactly that, finding that TC on the gold. And a bit too close to the TC, but if he sends his mangonels over here, focusing on that area, maybe from here, denying this gold as well, can be really tricky for Stark to get onto gold. This one is close to running out. Okay, there's one more here. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but a tricky situation. And there are 2 mangonels and another siege workshop for Sitaux before Stark has his siege workshop up. And last game Sitaux already showed us that he can make use of mangonels and mangonel v mangonel fights. Let's see if Stark can defend against all that pressure, and both with quite a lot of idle TC time, but also all those eco kills by Sitaux giving him a 10 worker lead so far. We have a Mangonel in here, but Sitaux can't really afford to keep both siege workshops and both archery ranges running. And that's the first monastery. Could have been a bit earlier. I think there was a Mangonel trade here. Yeah, this one and this one, they traded their lives while Sitaux was microing here against some of the archers. Sorry, the crossbows. Oh, I like that house. Just giving some work to this ville that is forward anyways, and gives you some more vision over the crucial area here. Oh, the Mangonel are not getting a kill. Solid shot here, 1 kill done. 3 kills already. Crossbows going in a bit too deep here. And Stark really on only 1 archery range? Yeah, he's going for full Mangonel defense. And a third... Wow. Third siege workshop for Sitaux. Doesn't have any monk or relic yet. Second siege workshop for Stark. I get some crossbow kills here with his Mangonel. Nice trade here for Sitaux. Or not even trade. Just a win. And Stark resigns 3-0 for Sitaux, which gives him the lead in Group C. It is, I think. I hope I made that correctly. Let's just check Liquipedia. I should make a scene for Liquipedia. That will be there next time. Let's go to this scene where we have a scoreboard and can see the civs. So Malians, they won. Oh. I can't click it. Okay, I can't click on the Malians. Feels bad, man, but it is okay. Okay, there is Liquipedia. Okay, I always have to show the banner. Yeah. So now, Group C with Sitaux, Kingstone, Overtaken, Slam, Dragonstar, and Stark. Really tough group, I would say. Sitaux 3-0 win. I think he's the favorite here. Maybe Slam could be as good, but I'm already surprised that Sitaux was relegated from Platinum League. Maybe too big of a focus on Arabia-like maps for him in a tournament where you have to play a lot of other maps. If your opponent just thinks I'm better against Sitaux on every map that isn't similar to Arabia, you play basically one map of Arabia, like yeah, the Arabia style, and then 2 maps that aren't like that. Other groups, El Matador and Target in Group A, 2 players I am really excited about. But with Hart and Nikov, 2 absolute beasts in the group as well. Sebastian and Z40 probably fighting with Target and Matador on the spots that won't let you drop down to the Silver League again. Capuch, GKT, Cloud, Cyclops, Mihai, Winchester, and Jax in Group B, and Winchester and Capuch are sticking out here. Then Mihai and Cloud are right behind them, and Cyclops and Jax are probably in the Silver League next season, sadly. But I hope they are fighting for it. And Group D, Dark, FedEx, Kasva, MBL, Nili, Rapid, and if we are ignoring MBL, this is the weakest group in my opinion, and I'm really happy about it because as a Nili fanboy, I hope he will win a lot, and honestly, he has chances to get second place in my opinion. Not the best. I think Dark is better than him, Rapid could be better than him. Kasva is around his level, FedEx is around his level, but if we're taking MBL out here, the group is really close and everyone could be on any place. MBL will be the first, and I would eat a broomstick, as we say in Germany, if MBL won't finish first place here. And the rest is basically a lottery. Games that are already scheduled in 2 days on Thursday. Thursday, 14 GMT, Nikov versus Z40, Group A, and 16 GMT, Winchester versus Cloud, Group B. I will most likely cast both of them. And after that, I will cast Masters of Arena Silver League, where Ovoin plays again. And would be lovely to see you there. And I will add a scene for Wikipedia now. But first, I will end the stream and hope to see you again. Bye bye.